Big Chief, whose real name is Justin Shearer, is a well-known figure in the world of street racing and a fan favorite on the popular television show Street Outlaws. He is also known by his nickname, Big Chief. My entire career in racing has been spent in this. In the world of street racing, Big Chief has established himself as a legendary figure, thanks to his insatiable desire for speed, his courageous driving, and his unforgettable attitude. Being in first place is more important to me than it has ever been. The person who is considered to be the most popular in the 405th is someone who is well known and followed by people all around the country. Let's say, however, that there is more to his story. There is a less well-known and more sinister aspect to Big Chief's narrative that lies behind the high-stakes action and races that are overflowing with adrenaline. In the video that we are going to see today, we are going to unearth the secrets of Justin Shearer's criminal history, the decisions that he made before Street Outlaws, and the events that almost brought an end to his career before it even started. We will go deeply into the history, the difficulties, and the controversies that surrounded Big Chief, even before he became famous. This investigation will begin with his early days on the streets and end with his ascent to prominence as a television personality. Is he one of the same brave drivers he was back then? Or has his voyage altered him in a way that cannot be reversed? Stay around to find out the truth behind Big Chief's troubled history and how everything that happened led to the man that we see on Street Outlaws today. You are not going to believe some of the unexpected turns and twists that led him to the current position he is in. Put on your seatbelts because you are about to go on a journey into the undiscovered side of the most famous figure in street racing. It's time to get started. In the year 1980, Big Chief, also known as Justin Shearer, was located in the undulating hills of Louisville, Kentucky. He relocated to Oklahoma in the year 1992. At the tender age of 9, Chief would ride his bicycle to Old Route 66 in order to observe the street races that were taking place there. The beginning of his enthusiasm and addiction to speed may be traced back to this location. In an older video, we have more information regarding Chief's rise to prominence and his personal life. Nevertheless, the purpose of this movie is to discuss his criminal background, both before and after the popular television show Street Outlaws. Justin's first encounter with the law occurred when he was only 18 years old, which was about the same time that he married his first wife. According to the documents filed with the court, Justin was involved in a car accident on February 22, 1998, and he made the decision to flee the scene before the police could arrive. We've had a lot of collisions with the law over the years. Ensure that the hood is on it. Having a hard time catching a break, buddy? Our captain has instructed us to act in a manner that is detrimental to this group. In addition, each time we do this, we put ourselves in danger of being arrested and having our vehicle seized. According to the law of Oklahoma, anyone who is engaged in an automobile accident is required to remain at the scene until an investigation has been completed. Shearer did not comply with this requirement, and as a result, he faced the possibility of spending up to 2 years in prison in court. In 2001, when he was 21 years old, he was arrested and lodged in a jail in Oklahoma for reasons that are not known. He was required to serve his term for a few years. His subsequent encounter with law enforcement would take place on January 17, 2006, in Flagstaff, Arizona, while Justin was traveling at a high rate of speed. This incident occurred just 5 years after the previous one. At a speed of more than 85 miles per hour, Justin was stopped by the Flagstaff Police Department. The fact that Justin has a strong need for speed and is interested in street racing leads us to believe that he was either participating in street racing or testing the acceleration and top speed of one of his debut automobiles. Cowboy street racing, you need to pull your tail. However, this was only the beginning, as Justin would go on to rack up additional criminal charges. However, before these charges were brought against him, he was cast by the Discovery Channel to compete in illegal street races for Street Outlaws. To this day, it is incomprehensible why a huge television and film production firm was granted permission to broadcast shows on individuals who were in violation of the law. Oh, wait, that's because that's exactly what they intended us to believe, when in reality the roads were already stopped, and the police were aware of the situation well before the race took place. In order to give the impression to the viewers that the activities they were engaging in on the show were criminal, any and all encounters with law enforcement were merely fabricated. So, he asked, "Do you have a motive for being here?" "No, sir. We are prepared to go whenever you give us the order to do so. Again, I don't want to send you out to compete in street racing. It is not coming from me, sir. Oh my goodness, you don't have to tell me a hoax. Sorry, but not at this time. Exactly the same. On the other hand, Shearer did engage in an unlawful activity in 2018, and as you might have guessed, he received yet another criminal speeding ticket. The second time around, Big Chief entered a guilty plea to the charge of exceeding the posted speed limit by between 16 and 19 miles per hour. Additionally, he was in Springfield, Missouri at this time. Big Chief already had a significant criminal record, and it was likely to become even more significant in the near future. After 3 years, in the year 2021, he was pulled over by the police in the city of Canadian, Oklahoma, where he was discovered to be in possession of a license plate that had expired. Even though it was a minor transgression, it is nonetheless on his eternal record. One of Big Chief's most recent encounters with law enforcement, in which he was found driving with a license that had been suspended, comes in last, but certainly not least. Due to the fact that Big Chief discusses the matter on Street Outlaws, we now know that he has had his license suspended on multiple occasions. My license to operate a motor vehicle is now on probation. I will be completely and utterly fucked if I am caught tonight. My driver's license has been suspended due to the fact that we do not possess a license plate, a tag, or a bill of sale. Aside from that, everything else is fine with us. On the other hand, this is the very first time that he has been discovered driving while his license is suspended. The maximum sentence for this offense is 1 year in prison. After being charged with this offense, I have no doubt that Big Chief is cruising around in Uber and riding his bike. At this point, Big Chief has a total of 5 criminal charges on his record. However, it is anticipated that the actual number may be greater due to the fact that his attorneys may have been successful in having some of the accusations dropped. On the other hand, the potential cost of doing this can be in the tens of thousands of dollars, which brings us to yet another fascinating revelation. When the Internal Revenue Service, IRS, put a federal tax lien on Justin in 2021, it was for taxes that he had not paid between the years 2013 and 2018. This just so happens to coincide with the beginning of his climb to stardom, which began with the release of Street Outlaws in 2013. This is the greatest sum that we have ever seen from any of the Street Outlaws cast members, totaling $1,250,000 and $194.49. The amount that was owed to the Internal Revenue Service is extremely astounding. Big Chief, it is a very impressive figure. Previously, he was given warnings and ample time to make amends before the matter became a tax lien. A tax lien is what, exactly? According to the website of the Internal Revenue Service, IRS, a federal tax lien is the legal claim that the government has against your property in the event that you fail to pay a tax bill or neglect to pay it. All of your property, including real estate, personal property, and financial assets, is protected by the lien, which safeguards the government's legitimate claims to those properties. It is highly probable that he will have his automobiles and house taken away from him by the latest possible date of July 2029. Big Chief hopes that he will be able to win some street races because he is in need of financial support. It is important to remember that the path to success is not always a straight one, as demonstrated by Big Chief's story. Justin Shearer's life has been exactly as chaotic as his drive for speed, beginning with his early street races and continuing through his battles with his past. It is true that Big Chief's criminal history is a dark chapter in his life, but it is also a significant part of what has contributed to his development as a racer and personality. When we go through experiences, whether they be positive or negative, they can serve as the fuel that propels us ahead. Regardless of whether you consider him to be a hero, a legend, or a controversial person, there is no disputing that Justin Shearer is a demonstration of resiliency, metamorphosis, and a passion that refuses to give up. We appreciate you watching. Remember to press that like button, subscribe to our channel, and let us know in the comments what additional street criminal stories you would like to hear about. If you found this dive into Big Chief's narrative to be intriguing, who should we talk about after that?